Chiefs
Yeah.
smashed the 49ers the week before their bye week. Now they've had a week and a half of rest at this point. And the Titans are, at this point of the season, are kind of like an afterthought in the AFC. But they're still 5-2. And Derrick Henry went nuts last week. He had 32 carries, 219 yards, and 2 touchdowns against the Texans. I know it's the Texans, but that was needed with Malik Willis starting in place of Ryan Tannehill. The Titans won against the Chiefs last year. I think the score was like 27-3 in that game. I don't think they stand an absolute chance this year, Tank. 12.5 points, though. That's a lot of points. Would you lay that with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I mean, that's my saying. That's a lot of points. L- this one's tough because I mean, momentum is a hell of a drug too, and the Titans have won 5
Yeah.
straight, but those 5 wins are against the Raiders, the Colts, Commanders, Colts, and then the Texans. And when you also look at the matchup, crazy to be said, like the Chiefs used to be one of those teams that were terrible against the run. Like right now, the Titans give up the second fewest rushing yards per game. The Chiefs give up the third fewest rush yards per game. Like it's unbelievable.
Mm.
And that may be somewhat dependent upon like some of the teams that they faced this year as well. That may go a little bit into it, but I don't know if I just want to go against the Titans because I felt like that offense shouldn't be able to function the way it does because they don't have a threat on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Teams know what they're going to do against them. That be said, like they just continue to run the ball down your damn throat and win games. But now you have to go to Kansas City. Kansas City
Mm-hmm.
has the game in mind last year when they went to Nashville and got romped.
Yeah.
So man, I mean, I think that definitely plays a part into it. And then also Kansas City coming off a win where you go out to San Francisco and play one of the better teams in the NFC and you put a whooping on them
Yeah.
like that. So I see where you're landing. Like I mean, it's a lot of points. But I believe the
A lot
San
of
Francisco
points.
49ers are a way better team than the Tennessee Titans. And they beat that team in their house. And so now they get the Titans at home.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can I really
It's
recommend
crazy.
betting on the Chiefs with that many points?
Do it.
I
It's a
think I
lot.
would
I'll give
though.
you a
I
reason
think I
why in a
would.
second.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
would.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing.
It goes against everything I believe, but like well not everything I believe. It just everything like I always like to
It's a lot
take
of
a
points.
sure thing. But it's a lot of points, but
Yeah.
man, it feels right. Oh, it feels right.
We're gonna
I
hit the
know. And
quota for
here's the
that
thing.
phrase in this
When
show.
when the Titans beat the Chiefs last year at Arrowhead, they had AJ Brown. Their offense has gotten worse since then. They don't have as many weapons. They still have Derrick Henry, but at the same time, their offense was a completely different look last year when they went to Arrowhead and
Yeah.
beat them 27-3. And the Chiefs are a really freaking good team, Jared. You said you have another point to kind of talk us into laying a lot of points with the Chiefs.
Yeah, listen, I understand that it's tough when you see these big spreads, but I think each double-digit spread is different. You know, like I don't like to just say, oh, it's a lot of points. I can't wrap my head around it. Certain double-digit spreads, I think it's fair to say it's not enough because of just how explosive the offense can be and what the matchups really are. In this particular game, I went back really quickly because I forgot about last year's game. And I forgot about how hellacious of a blowout that game was. So hellacious, in fact, even Derrick Henry threw a touchdown pass in that game. Like, that's how lopsided that game was.
Yep.
Right out of the gate, Derrick Henry threw a touchdown pass, and then the route was on from there, 27-3. Probably one of the worst offensive games in the history of the Mahomes, Reed era with the Chiefs. I mean, that was an ugly, ugly game. So absolutely, I'm sure Andy Reid showed a lot of film from that game this week.
Yeah.
And that is why I don't think the a lot of points moniker works here, because I don't think the Chiefs care what the spread is. I think they want to go throttle up from the start, off the bot. Now you're paying the Mahomes, Reid tax here at this price for sure. But I don't think there's going to be any mercy shown to the Titans this week. Is it Hooker or is it Tannehill? That's the key. I think it'll be Tannehill, you would think,
It
but I
doesn't
don't
matter
know how
though.
100% he's going to be.
It doesn't
I don't think
matter.
it matters either. I don't think it matters either.
Yeah,
I think, this is
you
a
raised a
Chiefs
good
coronation.
point there, especially talking about how it started off with Derrick Henry throwing that touchdown pass too. Because what's been some of the things we talked about on the show before? I talked about how Buffalo was on a revenge tour, their matchup against the Titans last year, and then the Steelers, and then the Chiefs. And what have they done? They've checked a lot of boxes. I can see the Chiefs doing the same thing. I'm on board with you, dog. Hey, Chiefs gonna cover.